Alright, in this video, we're going to do electrolysis on this silver ring right there and bring it back looking like new. Now, sometimes you get things that it doesn't need much shining. You can actually probably just take a cloth and shine up one of these jewelry cloths. Buffing wheel, you probably could clean it up. There's a couple methods. You can look it up. You can put it on top of the stove with aluminum foil, a little baking soda, and set it on top of it, and sometimes that'll clean it off. But this picture right here, this ring right here, and I'll show a picture of me finding it what it looked like too. It was even worse than this, but if you look at it right now, it's black. It's literally almost black. This ring probably has been in the water for years. And the silver oxide, it's a corrosion process with sterling silver. When it gets in that salt water, it just creates a silver oxide. And this right now is so thick on here, you couldn't even buff it off. You try to take a buffing wheel, it wouldn't even. You wear a buffing wheel out trying to get that down to the bare metal. But what we got to do is create an electrolysis process. What we'll use, I'll show you what we'll use in just a minute, but what this is going to do is actually transfer the silver ions off of it onto the aluminum and get that silver oxide loosened up and actually replace the electrons back into the silver and make it shiny again. We're going to do a few more things too, but let's get started. I'll show you the setup for the electrolysis. Here we go. Alright, first thing you need is a power source, and any old charger will normally work. What you want is a DC output. This particular one here has got a DC of 9 volt right there, 350 milliamp, which is fine. And you want to make sure you know which one's positive and which one's negative. And most time they mark them one way or another. This particular one, the white would be the positive right there, as you can see. This particular one is 12 volt with 2 amps. A little bit stronger. I use this one on my bigger, like a cannonball or something. Either one will work fine. It's going to draw what it needs. This particular one, the positive is actually marked by little braided, like little lines on it right there. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but that's how. Let me punch this right here so you can actually zoom in here. There we go. See how it's got like lines on it? That's the positive. And the other side has nothing. That's negative. That's how you can tell the difference on that one. I think we'll go ahead and use this one. Give us some extra power on that thing. And see what we can do. Let's get started. I will start with a little plastic container, a little bit of water in it. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to add just a little bit of baking soda. And that's going to kind of help use the electricity to flow is what that's doing. Right there. All right, let's wipe my hands off here. Now, next thing you need is an anode. This is our sacrificial metal. This is just a piece of aluminum. If y'all recognize that, that's from one of my fire ant arts that's got there. And you notice we got the red on the positive and the black on the negative. And you want to connect the negative to the item that you're going to be cleaning up. Now, normally I'm going to scrape this down. I'm going to do it in a little bit. But I want to show you a silver oxide is actually conductive. So when I stick this in here, we'll probably immediately get some bubbles. And we should get, let's see if we can get close in here. See the bubbles starting to form on the outside of it already. All right, you can see the bubbles coming off of the anode right there, the aluminum, big time. And you see it coming off of the ring right there. But what I'm going to do is a little something. You could do that and we could probably be okay. But I'm going to clean off a little edge on this where the it connects with a piece of sandpaper, so it's actually touching the silver. Silver is more conductive than the silver oxide, so I want to get right to the center of the ring, so we're going to clean that off right there. All right, as you can see, I took a little piece of sandpaper and sanded it down to the point that it's showing shiny metal there, silver, so we get a better conductivity on it. All right, a little close-up action on the anode too. As you can see, the bubbles coming off of it. Transferring the ions over to here to give it that shiny color, hopefully. We got a ways to go though. When you're doing this, you might get a slight sulfur smell because it's actually removing the sulfur oxides off of it, and it's actually coming up as a gas. So you might actually get a little bit of a smell into it. All right, here's a close-up view of the ring in the water starting to do a little electrolysis on it. You can see the bubbles coming off of it all the way around. We got it just on the water because I don't want this connector here to be taking too much of it away. But anyway, it looks like it's working good. So let's give this thing, it's probably going to take a while on this one. All right, here we go. All right, we'll check it in now. It's been about 3 hours. You can see how much the bubbles have collected in here, and the water's gotten a little dirty, but it is still cranking. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit there. You can see that it's still working. Let's pull it out just for a second here and see what she looks like. All right, let me get around here. Let me just do it with my finger here for a minute. A little bit coming off of my finger, but not a lot. I tell you what, it doesn't hardly seem like it's done hardly much to it. But there you go, there's some coming off on it. Sometimes when you do this, it will just come right off on your hand. But this one is a little different than most of them because it's been in there so long. It's starting to clean up, but what we're going to do next, we're going to leave it in here about another hour. We're going to put it in the tumbler and let it tumble, kind of stainless steel beads kind of knock off what it can knock off. Might end up having to put it back in. This is probably, like I say, the worst set of silver oxide on a sterling silver ring I've ever seen. It's thick. May even pit it a little bit potentially, but anyway, we're going to tumble it just a little bit. Let's let it stay in here just a little bit longer, and then we'll tumble it. Here we go. All right, it's been about another hour. Let's take this thing out of here. Get this off of here. Let me pop this off right here. All right, just looking at it here. It's not quite as black. It's got some little bit of silver coming through if you look at it real close right there. Maybe just a little, not much though. We're gonna put it in here with our stainless steel pins here and tumble it just a little bit to see how it does. That's what I would do normally. If something is not that bad, we'll put just a little bit of dishwashing soap in it, seal it up, and tumble it for about 30 minutes, and we'll check it out. Stay tuned. All right, we've been tumbling for over an hour now. Let's see what we got here. Y'all know that thing was black as I don't know what here to start with. Hopefully, well, we're getting a little silver. Let me get my little, so zoom in here on it. There you go. All right, it ain't black anymore. It ain't shiny yet, but it's not black. So it's coming along pretty good. It's actually broken the, it's definitely broken it down now. What we're going to do now is we're going to take my little buffer right here with some rouge and buff it out and see how clean we can get it buffing it. Y'all ready? Let's buff it up. Here we go. All right, what we're going to do, put some rouge on this thing and see if we can buff this out. Y'all ready? Let's see how it looks. First, we'll see it get a little bit darker on there. So that's the rouge cover. Once you get on here, let me try and get a little pressure on here. You should start to see it buff right out here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. That's beautiful. Starting to get shiny right there now. Look at that. It's not a mirror yet, but it will be. When we're done, we're going to take the jewelry cloth on top of it once we get this. So I'm just trying this little side piece. Actually, it's pretty hot when you do it. Look at that. She's definitely cleaned up nice. I had a little one do the inside, but this front part, let's see how the front part cleans up here. Let's put a little bit more rouge on here. And when you first start doing it, like I say, it turns kind of a grayish look because it has the rouge working on it there. But let's see, it gets hot too, buddy. It will get hot on you. Friction heat right there, buddy. She's getting coming clean. All right, I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and I'll catch up with y'all in just a minute and show you what it's looking like. Stay tuned. She ain't black no more. Check it out. It's looking good. Look at that nice shiny surface on it. Now, one of the last things I do here, this is a jewelry polishing cloth. And I'll try to leave a link to one of these on the video description here. But when you put it on here, that gives that little nice final reflective cut. Look, you can see my shirt right in there, right, reflecting right off. So we'll do this, run it all the way around for a few minutes. Just to get. We may actually run this in the ultrasonic cleaner briefly because of one reason. If you notice, you can kind of see through this, so stuff can get clogged up inside. because it's got holes going through it here. Stuff can get clogged up on the inside of it right here. So if you can see it right there, it's kind of coming through right there. I'm sure when I did my grind, I probably got stuff in it. So the ultrasonic cleaner will clean all those little gritty pieces up from inside those little holes right there. So we'll definitely do that. But right now, we're just going to try to get it nice and buffed out, shiny, run it through the ultrasonic cleaner, and we will be ready. I'll take some pictures after the ultrasonic cleaner and show you what it looks like. Look at that. That is looking beautiful. That is a pretty ring right there. All right, we got it down in the ultrasonic cleaner now. And if you look down in here, you can see that black crud coming out of the holes that are on the side. This water was completely clean when we started. Look at that right there. That ultrasonic is kicking that black out of those little holes that are running through there. You can see it just moving it, just doing it right there. All right, this is going to clean up those holes really good. We'll buff one more time, and it'll be looking good. Stay tuned. All right, the ultrasonic has all those holes clear. I'm going to put it sideways so you can kind of see through it. As you can see through all the holes, the white background right there. Everyone is open. Before they were clogged up from buffing the compound and all. You can see the 925 in there now. All right, we'll do one more buffing on our cloth here, and then I'm going to show you some pictures. Here we go. That was a little bit of a challenge. Probably one of the worst ones I've ever had to clean. It came clean. The electrolysis definitely loosened it up. The tumbling knocked most of it off, and then the little buffing. And ultrasonic got everything out of the centers. If you got a ring that's got, holding a stone and you can't really get to it with the wheeler clean, you need to let the ultrasonic to get inside those little grooves, inside places that you can't really reach. So the ultrasonic comes good for that. It cleaned all those holes. You saw, I can see right through all them holes there. You saw us knocking all the little grit all out from inside those little small holes. So ultrasonic's good for getting into places you can't get to. But anyway, looking good. I'll put a couple pictures up there to show you before and after. All right, appreciate everybody coming along. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, subscribe to the Gigmaster. And we'll see you on the next adventure tomorrow. Stay tuned.